On October 15th of 2018, Harvard University went to court due to alleged discrimination against Asian American applicants. According to statistics shown in the lawsuit, Asian students' admission rates were 67% lower than white students, even with the same SAT scores. To put it into perspective, Asian students get into top universities in America needed 140 more points than white students, 270 more points than Hispanic students, and up to 450 more points than black students. In fact, university admission injustice is not just happening in Harvard. It is a common issue existing in many places, including but not limited to Yale, Stanford, and just about any top university you can think of. Today, we will focus on two main injustices in university admission system: wealthy students versus poor students, and racial bias.
As students, our end goal for university is to get an education and to gain knowledge for a solid job in the future. As a university, the end goal is to be as profitable as possible, especially if it is a private university. This is concerning, as the university and the students who pay to attend university should have the same goal in mind. At 38 top colleges in America, more students were admitted in the top 1% of wealth than the bottom 60%. Even more shockingly, these included reputable Ivy League universities such as Dartmouth, Brown, Princeton, Yale, and the University of Pennsylvania. This is a case of greed in universities, as they are more willing to admit wealthier students, as they do not have to hand out scholarships to someone who might be brighter but comes from a less fortunate family. Over a third of college admission directors have admitted to giving advantages to students who are paying their entire tuition. Two-thirds of private colleges and one-third of public universities also admit to underfunding poorer students so that they can meet their profit line and accept more full-paying students. Clearly, there's a strong case of injustice for poorer students based on something they cannot directly control. If the stats above weren't enough to show the predetermined disadvantage that the low class and middle class already have, there is more. On March 10th of 2019, over 50 people were caught in a scandal with university acceptances involving bribery. Established families were paying for their child to get into a top university, leaving one less spot for less privileged students who have dreamed and done the hard work to be accepted. This scandal involved bribing athletic coaches, cheating on SATs, and in extreme cases, bribing the admission directors. Some notable names in the scandal involve actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin. Clearly, money is a big problem in university admissions, but unbelievably, there is a greater problem: racism.
According to a report by Asian American Coalition of Education, the number of college-age Asian Americans has risen dramatically in the past 25 years, but the percentage of Asian Americans actually enrolled has remained constant at those schools using applicant race as the admission criteria. California Institute of Technology, a school that does not use race as a factor in admission decisions, has seen its Asian American enrollments increase as the number of the applicants increase. New York Times also stated that Asian Americans score higher than applicants of any other race on admission measures like test scores and extracurricular activities, but their admission rates are significantly lower than other races who are at the same level of criteria. Obviously, racial bias is happening. It is against the goal of affirmative action. Many outstanding Asian students cannot receive better education just because of their race. In addition, the discriminatory practices by universities have caused tremendous harm to Asian students. Stress and mental health issues, pressure to study more as the bar is raised higher, lack of trust in American institutions, and self-identification at crisis. We believe that this is a serious injustice issue. This shows that illegal racial quota and bias in university admissions would break social justice and equality, and eventually would create more conflicts in society and a system where race is separated into different tiers, with Asian being at the lowest tier.
To summarize, if you're Asian and you come from a less fortunate family, your chances of getting to Harvard are basically next to impossible. But if you're wealthy and white, your chances of getting to Harvard are dramatically higher. Should it be this way? I don't think so. The admission system is not perfect. It will never be perfect. However, if wealth and racial bias were eliminated, it would be one step closer for a non-biased, justified admission process for each and every student. Just like in real life, everyone should be treated fairly, and this certainly should be the case when any student reaches the next big step in life.